Hey everyone, Michigan here. Welcome back to the channel. And I'm going to feature another wild replay for you. And maybe we'll get a win on this one, or it might be another heartbreak like the video that I posted 2 weeks ago. So we kind of have an ELC even 90 party here, 5 ELC even 90s on a steps encounter battle. And the first half of this battle is going to be fairly standard. I'm going to run into the middle and see what I can do on the 5 line. Try and get some of these ELC even 90s out. Now I'm noticing that the first ELC even 90, Kamanya, I believe, has quite a bit of XP in there as he's maxed out that XP meter. However, the 2 other ELC even 90s, they don't have as much experience in that tank. That doesn't mean that they're not skilled players at all. As you can see, Asylum there wasn't a clan that did well on the Maneuvers event. So that could mean a lot of things, but it just gives me an idea and a reminder to not underestimate any players. We're going to start with this TVP. Now, nobody's really in position, so I'm going to get my gun on, and as I believe they don't have any, I'm going to just take an early shot. It'll definitely get me lit, and I'll just back down. Now, that's a little bit of a dicey play, because, yes, while I did get 200 damage, I now got spotted. So the enemy team knows that I'm over here, so you could make an argument for not doing that. And you can see I just get lit there again, and that could have been really bad, but I get away with that. So, and I'm going to get a little bit of assistance there, 220 from the Progetto, hitting on the KB4. So a light start. None of the enemy lights have been spotted. We know that one's in that bush, so we'll just have to deal with him later. Now, if we sort of look around the map, we can kind of talk about the deployment here. Almost everybody has gone to either the 1 line or the center. The only people who haven't is the Kari, who's for some reason all the way in the back, and the LTTB. The ELC even 90s making a run for this opposite rock, maybe trying to get some extra lights on the bushes there. But with so many lights, and not a ton of TDs, but the SU-130 and the Batuk TVP are definitely tanks I don't want to get lit by. So I'm going to rush and see if I can't get underneath this ELC even 90, and this is going to result in a very frustrating play. ELC even 90's out in the open. He's still in the open. Now he backs off. Now our team takes a punt at him. They had an opportunity to kill him, and they didn't take it. Part of it was the T-28 prototype was backing off the hill before I lit him, but he should have been able to see that I was coming underneath and be ready for that shot. I'm a little disappointed neither the Progetto or the Borseg, because all we needed was 1 from each of those tanks, and this ELC would have been dead. And instead, I'm now stuck in gridlock with this enemy ELC even 90, and I cannot move unless he gets killed. So the Progetto is now making his way down the 4 line. Thank you very much to him, Sid Savage, for coming in here and at least making it look like he's going to help out. He does pause for a moment in the center, and what I really shouldn't be doing right now is poking up, because yes, while I can spot the enemy tanks, they're going to spot me because I'm in close combat with this ELC even 90. So I'm going to take a 356 hit from the Nurgle, which was damage I really did not need to take. So bad start there. Here comes the Progetto, and I'm going to put 1 in, and I'm looking to kill him. Progetto's going to kill him just after me. Remember this moment for later on in the battle, where that Progetto managed to get that kill, and I didn't. So Progetto's going to get our team's 2nd kill there, with the Progetto 54 killing the Carnarvon out on the 1 line. And now that's going to give us some free roam through the middle. Now most of the tanks, actually all the tanks from the center, have swapped with the LTTB. So now the LTTB's in the center and everybody else is over there covering the cap circle. The enemy team have 2 on the cap, the ELC even 90, and presumably, I'm not sure what that other tank, presumably the other Nurgle. Now I'm going to sit here and look for this KV4. Tough tank to pen, but from the side with the ELC even 90, 175 pen, if it's at a 90-degree angle to my shell, then you do have about a 60 to 70% chance of going through it, and we will have to kill this KV4 eventually, but hopefully one of our teammates can take him out. So our team was down a little bit there. We have pulled it back from 4 kills to 6 kills. I'm going to auto-lock on this SU-130. I just got lit, but as our team is a little down, I am going to stay up there, take the gamble, and we will get rewarded with the kill on that SU-130 PM. So that'll help out the Progetto. However, our Progetto now has to contend with the TVP that we dealt with earlier. So we're looking at going towards the KV-4, but instead we decide that we're going to go one-on-one with this TVP. And this guy is probably firing HE right now. I believe that that's what he would have loaded, as he will kill the Progetto if he does connect, even with the turret. No point in risking a bounce. That thing has great HE rounds. So what I need to do is I need 3 shells. It's a little aggravating if he was on 440. I'm not going to auto aim. I'm going to try and tuck in. He takes out my track. He's firing heat, actually. There's 1 shell. Can I get a high roll? Nope. He's going to hit me for 281. He's still firing heat. So luckily, I'm not sure I would have been firing heat if I were him, but I also don't have one. And we're going to get away and get our second kill. And here is a bit of a tricky play right now. There's 2 options. The LTTB is not going on the cap circle, so I could go on the cap circle. The issue with me on the cap right now is that if this Hori 3 or KV-4 or anything tries to come across, we won't see it. So there's nothing providing vision or crossfire. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to try, and I would prefer to be on the cap and maybe have the RHM out here. But because they're already on the cap circle and they're going to be too slow, myself and my 1100 DPM is going to provide the crossfire, which is vital here to ensuring that we can hold this cap. Now, I really wish this LTTB would get on cap, but I believe he actually went AFK here. The Nurgle gets finished off by the Carnarvon, and I'm going to start trying to put some into the KV-4. There's that 50-50 we're talking about. We're going to track him there. It's our last shell. We're going to make sure that it's going to hit. Lower a little bit for 213, and we'll need 1 more clip to finish off this KV-4. Now, the ELC even 90 has finished off the Nurgle, and that puts us in a 4 versus 7 here with an LTTB. So really, it's a 3 versus 7. And we know that LTTB is AFK because, I mean, we would hope so, unless he just, he must have disconnected, so he's not going to be any use here. I really want to take out this 122 TM, but instead I'm going to get double pushed here and try and take out this KV-4. So we're going to lead him a little bit. There's 1. There's 2, and we just need this last one to go in. We're going to really take our time. He shouldn't light us, and right into the back for 9 damage. There is 3 for our 3rd kill. 17 seconds left on the cap. It's looking right now like we are going to cap this out, but the ELC even 90 comes in from the rear and resets on the T28 and the RHM, putting that cap back down to 0. And now I'm going to deal with this Nurgle. We still don't know where the Hori 3 went, so instead what I'm going to do is try and get double pushed on the Nurgle. There's 1. Nurgle's side armor isn't very good. We get a nice fire there. He is using an auto fire extinguisher. There's 2. And there's 3. Our team is now down into a 3 versus 6. And there's no way I'm going to stop everybody from resetting that cap circle. At this point, they really shouldn't sit on the cap, but it looks like they're going to choose to do so anyway. The T28 prototype finishes off the ELC even 90, making this a 3 versus 5. I'm hoping I can reload before the Nurgle goes over. The RHM finishes off the Caliban to make it a 3 versus 4. But again, there's no way I'm going to save either of these tanks here. They're in there, and they're going to take hits. So I'm going to pop over the top here and see if I can't get 1 more clip before we lose both of these tanks. Looking for the Nurgle. He disappears over the top side. Luckily, I'm looking for the Hori, but then I see that there's a 50 TP Proto. There's 1. There's 2. And we turn that 1 versus 4 into a 1 versus 3. We are still down 1200 HP, and any shot from any of these 3 tanks will kill us. So what I'm going to do here now is I am reloading an APCR clip. And for some reason, it's still showing that I'm loading the standard AP. But we are loading APCR. So what I'm going to try and do here is I want to work on killing whatever isn't in the cap circle. So we see they have 2 on. I'm not sure what wouldn't be in the cap. It could be the Hori 2 trying to spot out in front as he has HP. Could be the 122 TM setting up and taking the cap. So we're going to pop up here. There's the Nurgle. I'm trying to get the bush in the way. I need this Nurgle to back off. There's one of the Nurgle. The Nurgle tries to pull back forward. He knows we're over here, and we are going to kill him, making that 1 versus 3 into a 1 versus 2. Now, the Nurgle definitely told the 122 TM and the Hori 2 where we are. So what we're going to not do is come from the same way that the Nurgle got shot from, because they're going to be looking that way. So instead, we're going to use our fairly good mobility, and this 3-round autoloader to try and pick off one of these tanks. What I'd like to do, preferably, is kill this 122 TM first. He's a one-shot. Our team is saying that he's only on 180 HP, and the Hori's on 1100. So if we can clear that out, then we can get behind the Hori 3, possibly, and take him out. But, as you know, plans in World of Tanks do not always go the way you're hoping. So we're going to use our Bond low noise here. And there's the 122 TM. Where is he? So we can't quite see him. He must be behind a dead tank. Clock is ticking. We got 17 seconds, 15 seconds. We can't get a shot. Where's the Hori? There's the Hori. The Hori comes out towards us. And we're just going to take the 7 seconds, 6 seconds. There's one. We're going to just hope this Hori doesn't blind fire us. We're going to try and get the full clip out. 2, looking for him again. And we're going to blind fire. Resetting him again. We're presuming we hit. And now we have 58 seconds. But we did get the reset. So we're going to play it safe. There's the 122 TM. Go around the backside of the rock. Again, this Bond low noise should be able to help us out. The CVS was useful for penetrating those bushes, and the optics also for being able to spot those tanks. So we don't really have time to go all the way back around to the other side of the zero. So we're going to take a slightly different position, one that they probably wouldn't expect, right? Because they may think we're still over on that side, reloading behind the rock, or maybe we're coming from the other side. But will they expect us coming from where we're about to go? Which will be this hill directly in front of us. We do have 10 degrees of gun depression in the ELC even 90, and there is this fallen down tree here, so that's what we're going to try and use. There we go. They can see us. I'm looking for the 122 TM, but I decide that I can just kill the other one, and throwing it in there, ricocheting off. He knows where we are now, and we're going to have to back off. And now we have a bad sort of situation, which is we only have 1 APCR round. So do we load the 1 APCR round to get better penetration, but if we bounce it, we're in trouble? Or do we take the lower penetration rounds and get 3 opportunities? And we are going to go with option 2. And with the 122 TM getting off the cap circle, we know that we should be able to outspot him most of the time, unless we come around a bad corner. So we're going to have to get a little unlucky to get outspotted by him. But if we blow a shot here, we have a 2.5 second inner clip reload. If he sees us, he's got more than enough gun handling and damage and penetration to go right through us. So we really need to make our first shot count. If he misses from close range, we should be able to finish him off, but it is going to be a little bit tricky. So we also have to take into account that there's only 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. So is this going to be a heartbreak, or is this going to be a heroic win? The last one was a heartbreak. Do we have another heartbreak is the question. 122 TM's back on cap. So we're going to go back to our 122 TM's off of cap. So this could be a little tricky. We're just going to go back to our initial bush. Where is he? We're moving up. There's the 122 TM. Reverse, reverse. Behind the rock. There's the 2-minute timer. How is the 122 TM not seen us? And we penetrate his side armor. 7 kills. Remember the Progetto killing the ELC even 90. That would have been a Radley Walters. But instead, we get 7 kills, and we come out with the win in a very brief 1 versus 4. Let's take a look at the postgame. Alright, once again, I'm recording the postgame before I have recorded the actual battle, because I knew I was going to record it. So with this battle, we finished with a Mastery Badge Ace Tanker, which I personally think was deserved. A Duelist for destroying 2 enemy vehicles that caused damage to our vehicle. Fire for Effect, Bruiser, Top Gun, Tank Sniper, High Caliber, and Defender. We finished top of our team with 4,263 damage, 7 kills, and 1,594 base XP. We fired 29 shots out of the 26 that hit, 23 penned, and we got a total of 15,781 XP after our bonuses, 1,561 free XP, as well as 219,000 credits, despite firing a couple of premium rounds in there. and we don't have to pay for consumables as I have them in stock. So I figured also I would give you an opportunity, since I post so many ELC videos, to kind of show you what I run for equipment. So I run CVS, Bond Optics, and the Bond Low Noise, which I know is pretty overkill on one loadout, so that's for my main loadout. And then on some maps where there's just a single bush that I'm going to run through, and I'll do the majority of spawning from there, I run CVS, a Mobility T3, and Binocular Telescope. If you want to take a look at my crew perks, here you go. This is what I'm running for my Commander/Radio Operator, my Gunner and Loader. This is what I'm running. And my my driver, this is what I'm running here. I know Controlled Impact looks ridiculous, but remember, this is also my EBR 105 crew. So just something to keep in mind there. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this one. It's another ELC replay. I think that's 2 in 2 weeks, but I had to post it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.